Darwin Wallace theory of natural selection. The Darwin Wallace theory of natural selection provides the primary mechanism explaining how organic evolution occurs in nature. Jointly presented by Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace, the theory demonstrates how environmental pressure acts on inheritable variations within populations, leading to adaptation and the origin of new species of a generation. Core postulates of the theory with examples: universal variation. Concept: variation is a fundamental feature of every group of plants and animals. No two individuals in a population are completely identical. Darwin Wallace assumed variation was an innate property. Modern genetics show it stems from genetic mutation and molecular variation. In a population of Example: in a population of beetles, individuals exhibit difference in shell color ranging from light green to dark brown. Overproduction, high reproductive potential. Organisms produce far more offspring than the environment can possibly support. Despite this potential for geometric increase, adult population sizes under natural conditions remain relatively consistent over time, meaning most offspring perish before reproducing. A single female fish or amphibian lays thousands of eggs at one time, yet only a small fraction survive to adulthood to maintain a steady population size. Struggle for survival. Because more individuals are born than can survive, fierce competition arises for limited resources like food, water, light, and living space. This struggle can be direct physical competition between organisms or indirect challenges against environmental extremes like drought or cold. Plants in a dense forest compete intensely for sunlight and soil nutrients, while animals in arid regions struggle against severe drought conditions. Survival of the fittest, natural selection. Individuals possessing favorable variations that better adapt them to their environment have a distinct advantage in surviving, while those with unfavorable variations, handicaps are eliminated. Example: in a dark forest floor, dark colored moths are less visible to predators than light colored moths, thus dark moths survive at a higher rate. Inheritance of favorable traits and speciation. Surviving fit individuals reproduce and pass their advantageous traits to their offspring. Over many generations, these cumulative adaptations lead to a population that is significantly different from its ancestral stock, ultimately forming new species. Over time, continuous selection for longer necks allowed giraffes to reach leaves high up on trees, gradually establishing the modern long-necked species. Exception: organisms in stable environments may experience little to no change over millions of years. Horseshoe crab, king crab. Relations of the theory and modern evolutions. Presence of neutral linear structure. Objections to the theory. Presence of neutral or useless structures. Objection: critics argue that natural selection could not explain neutral traits or useless organization. Modernists show non-narrative traits can persist if there are incidental side effects of genes controlling vital traits, linked on the same chromosome to beneficial genes or fixed randomly through genetic drift. Illusion of variations. Objection: early critics believed new advantageous variations would be diluted and lost when individuals bred with normal partners. Resolution: many genetics proved that traits are inherited as discrete units that remain intact across generations rather than blending out permanently. Conclusion: the Darwin Wallace theory established natural selection as a master force by driving biological diversity. Master force driving biological diversity. By combining population dynamics, environmental pressures, and inherited traits, it logically explains how life adapts to changing surroundings. While modern genetics has refined our understanding of how traits are mutated and inherited, natural selection remains the core foundation of modern evolutionary biology. Population and gene pools. In modern evolutionary biology, the focus shifted from individual organisms to whole populations. When individuals live and die, a population persists through generations, making it the fundamental unit of evolutionary change. Understanding population genetics requires examining concepts such as DMS, gene pools, genetic equilibrium, differential reproduction and the role of chance events like genetic drift. Demi and gene pool definition. Demi genetic population, a local population of similar individuals living in a circumscribed geographic area that actively interact with one another. A species consists of a series of integrating demis. Gene pool. The sum total of all the alleles of all the genes present in a population at a given time. Every individual has a unique genotype, but together they share a collective gene pool. Genetic equilibrium and the Hardy-Weinberg principle. Genetic equilibrium, a state in which the allele frequencies within a gene pool remain constant from generation to generation, resulting in no evolution. Conditions equilibrium, relative allele frequencies remain unchanged only under specific conditions. Population size is large, mating is completely random, no cellular selection occurs, no mutations occur, no migration, gene flow into or out of the population takes place. Factors altering the gene pool. Mechanism of evolution. A gene pool changes, meaning evolution takes place when equilibrium is disrupted by mutation, the primary source of new alleles, creating raw genetic variations. Hybridization or migration, the introduction of foreign genes into the population from external groups. Genetic recombination, crossing over and independent assortment. During meiosis, they generate novel gene combinations. Differential reproduction, natural selection. Non-random reproduction where individuals with certain traits leave a proportionately higher number of surviving offspring, shifting gene pool frequency towards those beneficial traits of a generation. Pleiotropy or selective and self-expression. Pleiotropy, more genes have multiple effects on the phenotype of an organism. Selection balance. An allele may moreover advantageous effects as well as harmful effects. An allele increases in frequency only positive selection pressures outweigh the negative ones. Genetic drift. Random changes in the allele frequencies of a population brought about by pure chance events rather than natural selection. Small population. Genetic drift operate mainly in small breeding population where chance plays a large role. It can lead to the fixation of certain alleles and the loss of others regardless of whether they are advantageous or harmful. For not affect colonization, when a small group of colonizers move into a new area, their gene pool is rarely a representative of sample of the parent population, leading to rapid non-selective evolution divergences. Conclusion. Biological evolution is ultimately a process of gradual change in the allele frequencies of a gene pool across generations. When factors such as mutation, acceleration, and genetic drift disrupt genetic equilibrium, the population's genetic structure shifts. As any gene pools reconciles Darwinian evolution with modern genetics, connects Darwinian evolution with modern genetics, highlighting how populations adapt or diverge over time.